Hello and welcome back to the 410. My name is Adrian, your host, and it's been a great weekend for us. Had to take care of a couple things. Had some local stars to take care of on Saturday. Had a great performance out there, Inferno Dance Studio in Randallstown. Those girls put on a great show. It was a rough week on the back end. The dogs were barking at us, but that's okay. That's how it goes sometimes. It's a long season. We're going to retool, and we're going to get right back to it. We got some Raven news for you. Of course, we're going to do the recap NBA for the weekend, and we're going to get into the picks for the day. Before we get into that, I want to make sure you know that this next segment of the Raven news here on the Electric, great people, great work, great prices. You let them know you heard about them right here on the 410, and you're going to get that hookup. Cahill Electric. Pro Bowl, we know where we want to be, but we're going to have to settle for getting our flowers down here in Orlando. Then, of course, we have the alternates, Kyle Van Noy, Ronnie Stanley, Mark Andrews, Nick Moore, Justin Tucker, Chris Board, and Daniel Falele. All of them guys going down there. Flowers. Congratulations to them. Once again, I know nobody necessarily wanted to be here, but hey, you know what we got to do when the time comes, when we get that chance again. So we're not going to cry over that. We're going to just tighten up and get back to it. All right, moving on. And even better news for me, something I have been paying attention to very closely. We look like we have an extension with Todd Monken. Definitely wanted to keep him. I didn't want to hold him back, obviously, if he was going to get a look at being a head coach somewhere. But he had our offense humming. Definitely want to bring him back and see if we can even add to what we already have built this year with him. So good job, Ravens, keeping Todd Monken in the fold. But I have no choice but to touch on it. We have a Super Bowl matchup. It's going to be Philly against Kansas City. Philly took care of their business against Washington. They dropped them off 55-23. This game was not what I expected it to be. Looked like Washington just was a little overmatched in this game. Obviously, Jayden Daniels had one of the best seasons as a rookie, if not the best season as a rookie ever. Kansas City won by, you already know they won at the end of the game. You already know the story with them. They won by 3. It's almost impossible to beat them at Arrowhead. That's why we have to get that home field advantage if possible next year moving forward. They'll be going up against each other. Not yet, haven't decided. Obviously, I'm still hurting, so we'll see. But congratulations to them and good luck to both of those teams. All right, we're going to move into NBA action for the weekend. Bundled everything together. We're going to do a quick rundown. That way we can get to our picks. Like I said, the end of the week was rough for us. The underdogs were barking, but we're going to lock in a little bit. We're going to talk about what I've been seeing. The Pacers and Spurs, they beat them by almost 40 after they lost by 30 the day before, or the 2 days before in Paris. So, like I said, this was the most see-through one of them all, Adam Silver. You made them take a dive so they could win in front of the home crowd. We knew that. All right, anyways, moving past that, Timberwolves, they beat the Nuggets 133-104. Ant was going crazy, as usual. He dropped 34. And he also set his career high, he also broke the career high three-pointers made in Minnesota. He beat Mr. Karl Towns out in that one. Congratulations to him. Next game, Celtics played a good game against Dallas. They won 122-107. Jason Tatum was strong with 24 points. Derek White came through with 23. Boston still up and down, depending on how they're shooting, but obviously they're very strong. Next game, Miami against Brooklyn. We already know what to do against Brooklyn. This game, 106-97, Miami pulled out. The highlight of this was Vinsanity got his number retired. Congratulations to Vince. Everybody that watch Vince, they already know what Vinsanity is about. I'm really happy that they recognized him down there in Brooklyn. He put on some good years down there in Brooklyn when people thought that his career was over. Next game, Charlotte been playing really good ball, going up against the Pelicans. They beat them soundly, 123-92. I tell you what, Charlotte's been coming on lately between LaMelo, Mark Williams, and the gang. They've been really holding it down. Miles Bridges, he's dunking on people. Charlotte, they may not play any defense, but they're giving people fits on offense, that's for sure. Next game, Orlando against Detroit. Detroit's been playing really well. Franz Wagner's back for Orlando. It looks like that's helping Paolo out. He feels like he has some help, so they're getting busy. 121 to 113, they took this game. Like I said, Orlando was down a few players, so it looks like they're starting to get a couple of them back, and it's showing the way that they're playing. So we'll see how they keep going from here. Toronto been playing really good ball, going up against the Hawks at home. They had just beat them 2 days before at home, and nothing changed. They went right on back, beat them 117 to 94. Like I said, they swept them at home. Definitely been playing good ball. Team effort with Toronto. RJ Barrett leads the way for the most part, but they have Scotty Barnes. They have a lot of players that's chipping in. They're a tough team to play when they're that balanced. It's hard to play a team that you don't know where it's coming from. Next game, Cleveland played Houston at home. Cleveland struggling a little bit here after their hot between him and Sengun. So we'll see what happens. Next game, New York, second highest scoring team in the league, going up against Sacramento, has been really hot with Doug Christie. Although last couple games they haven't looked as good as they did starting out. They lost this game 143 to 120. The Knicks put up 143. Like I said, that's the second highest scoring team in the league. And when you see them clicking, they're hard to play with. That's for sure. Next game, Chicago against Philly. Chicago at home. Chicago been struggling all year. Please trade Zach LaVine. Please trade Zach LaVine. Let's figure out a way to get him out to the Lakers, anywhere but Chicago. They lost this game 109 to 97. Tyrese Maxey again. Been doing this thing all year long. 31 points, 9 assists in this game. I don't know if he's going to make the All-Star team, but he most definitely been playing like an All-Star all year. Next game, Memphis against Mount Jazz. Jazz, of course, this was a bit too much for them to handle. 125 to 103 was the score. Ja in the game been playing very tough. Jaren Jackson had 28. Mr. Zach Edey chipped in with 19. And this is the Grizzlies' sixth straight win. Lakerland going up against Golden State. This used to be like a highlight matchup. It's not as much sizzle to this one at all. 118 to 108 was the score. The Lakers pulled this off. Like I said, Golden State, I don't know what they're going to do down there, but it doesn't look like they can compete with the top tier teams in the league anymore. Anthony Davis had 36 and 13 for LA. Playing really strong. I don't know if they're going to get a big man out there, but AD says he needs a big man, and that's the recipe for them to win the championship. Next game, my lock every night. I'm going to bet on them to lose the game. I don't care. The Phoenix going up against Washington. You know what happened here, 119 to 109. Washington is vested in Cooper Flag very heavy. So if you understand what I'm saying there, you understand that you just need to bet against them for the rest of the year. You're going to come out victorious more than that. I'll tell you that right now. The Clippers playing really good, going up against the Bucks at home. They took this game 127-117. Of course, Kawhi's back. So now you have Kawhi, you have James Harden, who's been dropping 40. He dropped 40 in this game. He's had a couple 40-point games. They just snapped Milwaukee's 5-game winning streak, so they were on a really strong roll there. So for them to come out and do what they did shows a lot. The Clippers may be somebody to pay attention to. Last game to wrap up the weekend was Oklahoma going up against Portland at home. Obviously, Oklahoma is one of the stronger teams in the league. This was going to be a tough task for Portland. Has been playing really good ball, though. They ended up losing this game 118 to 108. SGA had 33. And, of course, the Thunder, they're still rolling. And we'll keep on seeing how if they can maintain that number one seed or they're going to get some competition for that moving forward. All right, tonight's games. First up, we have Charlotte going up against the Lakers. Charlotte's at home. Charlotte's been playing really strong, but the Lakers been playing a little stronger. I think the Lakers will take them against the points. Detroit going up against Cleveland. Cleveland's at home. Cleveland been a little bit up and down here the last couple of weeks. I'm going to take my chances with Detroit plus that 10.5. Not sure how they're getting that many points, but maybe somebody's not playing. I'm not even going to look into it. I'm taking them 10.5. Houston plus 5.5 against the Celtics. Obviously, if the Celtics are making their threes, they're probably going to beat them by more than that. But if they're not shooting that well, then this game definitely go Houston's way. Next game, Brooklyn against the Kings. Brooklyn at home. They haven't won a game in I don't know how long at home. We're taking Sacramento covering the 12.5. I'm not taking Brooklyn. Orlando going up against the Heat. The Heat getting to, or actually Orlando getting 1.5 in this game. They've been playing pretty good. I think I'm going to take Orlando in the points in this game. Miami still without Jimmy Butler, still without a resolution there. They need some help with that whole situation. They're down a man. They need a man. The Grizzlies going up against the Knicks. The Knicks here, like I said, they've been scoring at a really high clip. The Grizzlies, they've been playing really well. I think I'm going to take the Grizzlies here in this game plus the points. They're getting 3.5, so I think I'm going to be good with taking that and just take my chances there. Next game, Toronto going up against New Orleans at home. Toronto's been playing really good ball. New Orleans, I thought they were onto a roll, and they kind of stumbled a little bit, so we'll see what happens. But I'm going to take New Orleans tonight, see what happens, minus the 1.5. Go with that. Chicago going up against Denver at home. I'm taking Denver right out the gate. Chicago, like I said, please trade Zach LaVine. Atlanta up against the Timberwolves. Atlanta just lost those 2 games to Toronto, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but they look like they need to get back on track. Ant just breaking the record, hitting threes out there in Minnesota. So we're going to roll with Minnesota minus this 10.5 tonight. Of course, Dallas going up against Washington. This will be my lock of the day, or it's always my lock of the day. But this will be one of the picks on the lock of the day here. Dallas to beat Washington. We're not going to talk about how they are vested in Cooper Flag. Utah going against Milwaukee at home. Of course, Utah has been doing a great job covering the spreads here lately. This is going to be a tough task for them, but I'm going to roll with Utah plus the 8.5. Unless Walker Kessler is not playing. If he's not playing, then that's going to be impossible for them to deal with because they have nobody under the rim to deal with Giannis. So I'm going to check that. But if Walker Kessler's playing, I'm taking the 8.5. If he's not playing, taking Milwaukee to cover that spread. Next game, powerhouses. Phoenix been playing really well. The Clippers been playing really well as well. I think I'm going to take the home team in this one, even though the Clippers just showed me something the other night with James Harden dropping at 40. But I'm going to take my chances. Phoenix at home with plus 1.5. So tonight's lock, we're going to do a 4-team money line parlay. And that'll be LA Lakers, Milwaukee Bucks, Dallas Mavericks, Sacramento Kings. All 4 of them on the money line. And we'll be victorious. And I'll be back to see you tomorrow.